Hello, Leo. Welcome to your September 2025 reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Ellena, and I already pre-shuffled your cards, so let's jump right in and see what Spirit has to say. So, dedicated effort, coming together, teach, sadness and isolation, change your focus, clarity or belief, healing begins, shine, and then you have two cards here, victory and success and emotional withdrawal. Oh wow, these two came up for another reading just recently. The one that I did, probably like, I don't know if it's like is it Libra? It's Virgo. It's one of the earth signs, I think. So if you have earth sign placements in your chart, this might be it might be significant to watch those ones as well. But yeah, because it was these two specific cards here. So let's see what Spirit wants to say. I feel like, Leo, there's probably been a big portion of your life where you have been a hermit, which is kind of interesting to say because Leo is like, when I think of Leo, I see someone who is meant to be on stage and in the spotlight, like to have all eyes on them, you know. For some reason, I feel like you've been in hermit mode. Because there's some sort of, I wouldn't say, maybe it's insecurity, self-esteem, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, something like that, where there's a lack of confidence in yourself when it comes to just taking up space in your life. There's some sort of belief system that's no longer working, and I feel like there's some sort of like heartbreak, because that looks like a heart to me. And I feel like you've been lingering a little bit too long in that area of what could have been, what should have been, what didn't work out for you in your past. It's interesting with these two cards next to each other. He's kind of like holding or looking forward to the green healing, which is kind of connected to this divine feminine's heart. I don't know if I'm speaking to like a divine masculine here, where I feel like they're finally taking a leap of faith and trusting in themselves, but they're also getting a lot of guidance from divine feminines. And again, this is not gender specific. It's just whatever energy you resonate with more. I can't help but feel like there's a divine masculine here that is kind of letting go of his past, or the story he tells himself about how things never worked out. And there's a connection here with him and a divine feminine energy, whether that is some sort of ancient wisdom, wisdom of spirit, wisdom of the angels, energy work, healing energy work, something like that, that's really going to assist him in getting more confident in himself to get out of this energy of sadness and into a space of just relaxing and trusting. A lot of times, like when we are in kind of a darker energy of like divine masculine, because there's different polarities of positive and negative, I feel like sometimes if we're into the negative aspect of divine masculine, we don't actually trust our future. We don't even trust the foundations that are coming, or like we always feel like we need this false sense of security, of accumulating, of reaching our goals, of constantly having a certain amount of things to feel secure. And I feel like maybe that kind of worked in the past a little bit, but you're feeling a little bit empty. You feel empty because you feel like, despite all this wonderful stuff that I have, the money in the bank, the house, the car, the career, whatever. Like from the outside, it may look perfect, but on the inside, it's like it's not fulfilling you. There's like no balance in that, where it's like you're not really appreciating or enjoying your experience. You're not appreciating your life in many ways, or the art that is in life. You're not slowing down to smell the roses. You're not looking at beauty around in terms of like, you know, art, nature. It's like you're so busy that you've kind of, it's like your life is passing by because you're so busy. And you're starting to get a different shift in perspective because it's not fulfilling you. Like, it's like you're yearning for something more, and it's not outside of you. That more is inside. It is that depth of healing. It's that level of appreciation for what you do have. And that is also why I feel like those who have resonated a lot with the divine feminine energies, they probably do a lot of inner work. They've had a lot of hardships in terms of finding stability in their external reality. Maybe they always had enough in terms of abundance, but they never had an excess amount of money. Like, you've always had enough to get you to what you need and what you needed to do next. But it was just like a trust of having that provided for you when it comes to divine feminine. Whereas I feel like divine masculine here, I feel like they're learning to trust that they're always going to be secure. They don't need to prove to people with what they have. They don't need to accumulate a bunch of stuff. It's like letting go of that need for control and trusting that everything is provided for you. You don't have to keep striving for that security or fear or lack of security, rather. And by getting in tune with that divine feminine energy, it's that inner work that we do. It's like when you do the inner work, it's like your outside may not change very much, let's say, but you have a deeper, profound appreciation and gratitude for the things that you do have. And unfortunately, sometimes when we get into that space, if you were like in that energy of kind of like toxic divine masculine traits, sometimes when we get our spiritual awakening, we tend to lose a lot of things. Like we tend to lose like that job, maybe our finances are hit, or maybe things start collapsing around us because we're starting to realize that these external things at the end of the day don't really matter. What matters is the feeling you have inside in terms of your peace, joy, and happiness. And I feel like there's something that has happened where it has caused you to really take a step back on how you've been approaching your experience so far. And that empty feeling of just accumulating more and more is just, it's not fulfilling for you. So there's a lot of deep soul work that I feel for you, Leo, in the month of September. But it ultimately is going to lead you to a space where you feel more harmony in your life. You're going to meet the right people in your life. It's like you're connecting more to like divine, like let's say spiritual healers. You're connecting more to like, you're more open and receptive to this, like tarot readers, energy healers, Reiki masters, light language, Akashic record healing. It's like it's important to connect to people that can help you in your path that way, because I feel like you're diving into that aspect of healing that energy within you and bringing your divine masculine and divine feminine energy into balance. And to do that, it requires you to be really honest with what's important to you and what you should be focusing on. And I feel like things have been falling apart for you in some ways. Again, it's like maybe, you know, your finances are being hit, or things are just not fulfilling, or something is happening, like a tower moment has happened where you feel like even though you work very hard to create these things or to make these things or to accumulate money, it's not satisfying. But I feel like when you begin to change your focus and start nurturing and healing those voids inside, or the things that are shadow aspects inside, you're gonna start meeting people who really align with you inside. Not just like people who are good at the job. Maybe you own a business and you get along with people in your business, which is great. But there's like a certain depth inside that you need, that your coworkers or your employees or the people around you can't seem to really give you. It's like you're wanting more. Like you love the people around you, but it's like you're looking for a deeper connection, and you will only meet people with deeper connections when you deeply connect to yourself. And that comes with a level of self-awareness. And that can be guided and helped with people who are in that field that you're focusing on and that you are interested in now, I feel. And because I feel like you're so smart, I feel like you're an intellectual, like, you know what it is that you need to do. It's like you are, like, once you get onto this, like, train of, like, healing and, like, focusing on your generational traumas and healing that, I feel like you have the ability to get things done. And I feel like because your momentum of focus and getting things done is so natural to you, I do feel like things that need to be brought up in terms of bringing your divine feminine energies into balance, and your intuition and your guidance and such, I feel like it's gonna happen relatively quickly, and that is because this is what you're meant to be doing, and you're totally capable of it. You're totally capable. You're not running away from it. You know deep down that something has to change, and you're more than willing to take that leap of faith, which is exciting. It's going to lead you to a place of more peace and joy and deeper richness and fulfillment. Resilience. Yeah. There is no need to rush or push. This is a time to take things as they come. You have the determination and patience to handle what is happening. Yeah, that's like kind of what I was saying. Like, and turtles kind of take their time, right? Like, it's like you know what you need to do. And it's not like you don't have the tools to get things done. But we also know healing is not linear. Sometimes, you know, you'll feel really good one day and then it'll hit you the next day and you feel like you're just still purging a lot of hurts in your past, or questions in terms of validation. That's coming up. Spirit is saying, like, why do you pursue the things that you do? Why do you want to accumulate things? So it could be a false sense of security, but it also could be maybe you're trying to prove a point to people. Like maybe in your childhood, your parents or the people around you, you didn't have a really good childhood. So like in a way, your ability to keep moving up in the corporate ladder, or like to keep accumulating things, or to make more, like lots of money or something, is to kind of prove a point to them, saying like, you know, my childhood was bad, but it doesn't define me. And you're just trying to prove your point to people around you, whether you are conscious of it or not. Again, take what resonates and leave the rest. Everyone's journey is different, but what I'm trying to say is that our motivations to do the things that we do can be driven by fear, and we don't even realize that we're doing it. Sometimes people keep really busy because they're trying to avoid their feelings, or they're trying to avoid having to deal with things at home. Like, how often do you see people constantly overworking and staying at work a lot because they just don't want to be at home, and they don't want to deal with the dynamics in their personal, like, home life. Like, we need to get focused on like what is your motivation for what you're doing, and to kind of pause and to not automatically do things because that's just been something that's been programmed into you, or maybe it's something that you bought into because your parents were like that or your guardians were like that. It's like really taking an assessment of like your life and if it's something that you want to continue doing. But from what I see here, Leo, I feel like you want to take that pause. You know something needs to change, and you know that what is going on right now is not working out for you. Like, I feel like deep down you have a feeling that there's more to life. You know, you got everything that you could possibly want, but there's something more that's missing, and that more is like soul searching inside. Persistent drive, resilience, and persistent drive. Yeah, I feel like I might be talking to someone who is very good with business. Yeah, it's like you know how to handle business, be professional. But it's like when it comes to your emotional side, I don't know if you tended to that side of you as much as, you know, your soul is calling you to, you know. Shared inspiration. Throw yourself into a new project. Be willing to let go of time constraints and rules and really be aware of whatever fulfills your heart. It's like enjoying your life more. I keep getting that message. And it's like, what was it? Sadhguru said, like, what's the point of constantly accumulating and building your empire when you're not appreciating your life? You're not appreciating, or you don't have time to enjoy the stuff that you have. What's the point of constantly pushing forward? And I think, like, for the month of September, you are being asked to begin to nurture that side of you and to smell the roses. To go out for a walk and look at the sunset, go for a hike, go hang out with your friends, have a delicious dinner, you know, like things like that. Like really just see how far you've come so that you can so you can cultivate gratitude for how hard you've worked, right? So love where you are. Use your sensitivity to know when to act. Connect your heart to your head when determining what you would like. I feel like for those who are watching, you're a very logical person. You're a logical person. You're not really into your heart space, but right now Spirit is asking you to jump into your heart space and to just focus on true joy. Focus on your motivations of why you do what you need to do. This picture just shows like kind of like the depths of that. You have to go deep. You need to go deep inside. Journaling might help. Speaking to friends that have different perspective than you. Sometimes it's easy to kind of talk to people, but like if they have the same perspective, it's sometimes hard to see the root cause of things. Hence why it's important to reach out to people who have like different perspectives, because those different perspectives are going to provide insight into your healing. And I think that's really important. I think it's really important to kind of reach out to different communities to kind of help you understand why you do the things you do and where you want to go from there. But right now, the main energy that I'm feeling for this is like, this is a time of rest. It's a rest period to clarify what is working for you and what is not. Don't jump into projects in terms of like going to work. Don't stay busy. Pause. Take a break, because that break is necessary for you to get clear about what's causing that pain. What is your need to constantly like push yourself and to be honest with yourself. But yeah, like I feel like this is definitely a month of really like reflecting on that. So I'm going to leave your reading here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this reading helps you, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.